Quideo 5 Basic. I'm going to leave the question here to try and make my video shorter, so just pause it and read it if you need to. Okay, so the basic problem. Question A says just state the hypotheses and check that you can safely use the Z procedure. So, for the P part of phantoms, we're going to use the proportion of P, or P hat P, and we're going to do that proportion of those with the placebo. And then we're going to do P hat A as a proportion of those getting a ZT. Our hypotheses, we're going to use the HO, that P hat of P equals P hat of A. And our HA is that P hat of P is greater than P hat of A. We're going to look at our assumptions, and we have it stated that it's an SRS, and then we can test that NP is greater than 10 and NQ is greater than 10 by looking at these four rules right here. And we discover that 10N, we have a 10N sample size, so we can use the Z procedure safely. Part B says, how significant is the evidence that AZT is effective? So we're going to do a 2 proportion Z test, and we're going to use an alpha value of 0.1 or 0.05. We use this equation, and we plug in our values that we've gotten up here. Doing the proportion of P, we got is 0.087, and the proportion of A is 0.039, and we have an N of 435. So when we plug in these values, we get 2.9231. But when you change that to your true p-value, we get 0.9928. Then we have to subtract that from 1, and we get 0.0017. So we reject the HO because the p-value of 0.0017 is smaller than either of the alphas. So the proportion of people with a placebo and AZT is not equal. And then part C says, the experiment was double-blind. Explain what this means. The double-blind experiment means that neither the doctor nor the recipient knew what test they would be receiving, so they didn't know if they were getting the placebo or the AZT.